It's coffee chat. It's time for coffee chat. So for those of you who are not familiar, coffee chat is when I get on here on Niknax.net and I talk about our milestones, our past week, all of the things. So if you're over on Facebook or YouTube, make your way over here to Niknax and hang out with us because we're casting, but you got to come here and hang out. All right, let me get over to make sure that we are set to subscribers only, and then we will get started. All right. All right, there we go. So you will have to have been subscribed for 2 years in order to comment over on YouTube. But I always invite you guys to come on over and hang out with us on Niknax.net. That is where we are currently. And I think we're going to get started. So let me get us over to my notes. Give me one sec. Oh man, how is everybody doing this morning? I see lots of good mornings. Hello, hello. All right, let me see here. Good. I see that yawn. Oh shoot. All right. Well, I don't appear to have any notes yet. So I guess maybe we'll just talk a little bit about things. Did everybody have a good week? Here's a question: has anyone seen the new version of the app? I think it rolled out to everybody. If not, it's today or tomorrow. Yes, you love it? All right. I like hearing that feedback. It's a lot more streamlined. A lot more streamlined. I have no news on the Android app except that I know that they are working on it. That is all I've got. That's all I've got. But soon, I'm sure. Soon. Can you add stone as material? Oh, yes. Yes, I can. I am capable of that. I have to write it down though. I've got my handy dandy notebook right here. Let's see. Material, stone. Perfect. I wrote it down. It's there now. All right. Well, Christina is here now. She has sent me notes, so we're gonna get started. Let's see here. All right, so we currently have 49,439 members. That is 253 new members since last week. That's a good growth right there. I have to write something down. Okay. So if you're new here, if you are a new member, I always encourage you guys to go over into the chat channels, the community chat, introduce yourself, let us know a little bit about you, maybe what you collect, how you found Niknax, all of those things, because it's always important to us to have that sense of community. And so might as well be a part of it. Introduce yourself and get to know people. We have 36 new sellers. We are currently at 5,183. So we do have 36 more sellers. I have had people asking what takes so long. And usually when I get asked what takes so long, I don't see all the necessary information in their application. So please, when you're filling out the application, answer the questions. Respond to the questions, not with NA or no, yes, no. I need information. I need to know if you would fit into our community, if you will be a positive influence on the community, good contributor. So I need information. So if you are applying to be a seller on Niknax, please fill out the application. If you don't sell anywhere else, if you've never sold anywhere else, just tell me a little bit about yourself. Do the right thing. Tell me a little bit about you, what you collect, why you want to be a seller. Just include some information for me. All right. We currently have 117,000 listings. That is 1,000 more listings from last week, I think. Yeah, 1,000 new listings. Icebreaker. Christina has an icebreaker today. Why? By embracing the spirit of national and international holidays, you can create a day filled with creativity, reflection, and connection. I don't, it's not a question, though. It's just an icebreaker. So there's your inspiration for the day, guys. Oh, shoot. All right. So let's see. We have Happy International Podcast Day. I didn't even know that was a thing, but apparently it is. International Podcast Day. So join in on a discussion that you connect with and gives you inspiration. Oh, that's funny. I don't even know where to go with that. I mean, yeah, podcasts are great. I guess they're celebrated. They have a day of celebration when they're international. I wonder if domestic podcasts also get a day to celebrate. We should just have podcast day. We should have podcast day. We're our own podcast. Yeah, there you go. All right, we have Orange Shirt Day. So I expect some of you to be wearing orange in your lives today, celebrating Orange Shirt Day. The symbolism of the color orange is rich and varied, representing enthusiasm, creativity, optimism, and vitality. So, all the more reason to wear orange. It's not really my color, but it's Orange Shirt Day. Also, take some time to browse around Niknax maybe for an orange shirt. You might find one. I haven't actually done that search, but you might find an orange shirt right here on Niknax. We have them. Oh, Christina says we have them. Let me see. I'm gonna investigate. Orange shirt. We do actually have a lot of orange shirts. Turn you guys around. Look at all these orange shirts. That's so funny. I have no idea why this showed up when I searched orange shirt, but there it is. We've got lots of orange out there. We've been embracing the fashion side of things. So go find yourself a shirt. All right. Oh, wait, there's more. It's National Hot Mold Cider Day. So you could be sipping on some mulled cider while you wear your orange shirt and sell things on Niknax or list your things on Niknax. There you go. And extra virgin olive oil day. That is so weird. These just crack me up. I'm like, who comes up with these things, and how do you make a day official like that? It's published places. Do we have like Niknax Day? Can we make that a thing? Niknax Day? I think we should. I just don't know who to talk to. The olive oil company came up with that one. Yeah, I think so. That's funny. So if you're going to be cooking today, toss the vegetable oil and get yourself some good old virgin olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. All right. All right. First up, if you have questions, please save them till the end. You guys know I get off subject very easily and I get distracted very easily. So in order to get through our notes, save your questions till the end. And if you think you're not going to remember them, I always encourage you guys to write them down. That's what I have to do. Updates. We have the new app update. I mentioned that at the beginning. We have a new app. The new iOS update will be available to everyone by the end of day today. And that is iOS, so that is Apple. So if you have an iPhone that you are using for Niknax, by the end of the day, you will see that new app come through. Oh, look, that's how you do National Day Count. So yeah, so if you have Apple, you can be excited to see that new update, which is very streamlined. I feel like it's a lot more clean, and it's moving us in a good direction. So make sure you check out the new app. So it's recommended that you make sure your phone is on auto update mode. I think mine is, but the updates never auto update, so I don't know what I'm doing wrong. But make sure that you are updated if you're not on the automatic update. Some design improvements and updates to the co-hosting experience for both sellers and buyers. Now you can move the small screen around, make it side by side, like a split screen. So that is only on the iOS and not on desktop yet. But you guys should be able to move around the co-host, which is awesome. I know you guys have been asking for that, so that's fantastic. We do need to apologize for some confusion with Canada. I don't think the communication was where it should have been on that. But Canada is back under another strike. And so as a result, US to Canada has been shut down again. Or Canada to the US. So yeah, sorry, I'm just reading through what Christina has here. It says, due to the nationwide Canada Post strike that began on September 26th, purchases from U.S. sellers to Canadian buyers are temporarily paused. Canada Post has suspended mail and parcel delivery, and this step prevents delays or lost packages. For Canadian buyers, you can still browse and shop from Canadian sellers. So we've had this happen a few times. I always encourage you guys to support your Canadian sellers if you are in Canada. So please do some browsing. I do have Canadian sellers pinned to our homepage, so you can do some browsing there. For U.S. sellers, orders from U.S. sellers to Canadian buyers are currently disabled. So what that means is if you are a buyer in Canada right now, you cannot purchase from our U.S. sellers, unfortunately. I don't know how I missed it. Usually I have some notice of, hey, they're shutting down again. There's talk of shutting down, but it was like 2 days later, and I'm getting reports that buyers can't purchase if they're in Canada. And I was like, what? That doesn't make any sense. So yeah, that's what's going on. So I think USPS might also be disabled at midnight. Wait, what does that mean? So they did send out an email, but my understanding is it was sent to It was sent to sellers. It was not sent to buyers. So there was some confusion there, and I think, and I might mention this in the future, actually sending out an email to everyone. So I'm going to put that down in my notes. So when this happens, buyers, sellers, all of our members are aware. All right. What is this about USPS shutting down? Because I had no idea about that. Okay. There you go. It says here the U.S. Postal Service will not be affected by the looming government shutdown that could begin on October 1st. All right. Google tells me. It's USA Today. I feel like they know what they're talking about. So this right here says the U.S. Postal Service will not be affected by the looming government shutdown. All right. So so we should be okay there. All right. So so that's what's going on with Canada. And I will stress, if you are in Canada and you want to support our Canadian sellers, please do so. Please do so. There's some really fantastic stuff out there, and you can find it on the homepage. All right. All right, I'm confused. What is going on? Okay. I know, I'm confused. That's why I'm like, what is going on? All right. Blondie 7, is that who is, what is that about? What is going on there? I'm gonna write that. Yeah. Maybe. Okay. You're trying to send me a message? I'm not really sure what's going on. All right. Well, I'm just gonna keep going. So, trolling versus odd behavior in live chats. Uh, okay. So when this happens in your chats, please remember that you as a seller are in charge. And if you notice that your chat is derailing, things are being said that aren't on topic, remember that you always have the power to say something, and you do have the power to boot people from your sales, to block them, all of the things. So what to do? Trolling behavior is evident immediately. Saying something vulgar or a direct insult, absolutely ban them. Please send me a message so that I can ban them from Niknax. That's not the type of behavior we want here. So if there is an issue, just make me aware, make our moderators or our admins aware, so that I can make sure that they're not just banned from your sale, they're banned from participating on Niknax. Okay, that's really important. You can screenshot, record, boot, block, or report to community@niknax.net. Um, there's also situations where there's just been weird behavior in sales. We had that situation this past week, um, and I did have to ban someone from Niknax. But if there is odd behavior happening, again, just be aware of it. Take a screenshot. As a seller, it's up to your discretion whether or not you want to boot the person from your sale. Um, but yeah, so if I hear about it, of course I will send a message and see how it goes from there. If it escalates after my message, usually the option is just to ban them. Um, but normally I just send a message and be like, hey, can you elaborate on what happened? It's not accusatory. It's basically tell me your side of the story so that I know what's going on. And there's been times where people have explained their side of the story, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, here's the deal. Don't interrupt live sales. And we move on. As I've said previously, it's just business. I'm not coming down on you guys. I'm not. I try to get all sides of the story before I make any decision, especially when it comes to banning members, because I don't like to ban anybody. But I also can't tolerate people trolling, interrupting sales, um, all of those things. So let's see. New sign up feedback. How odd is odd? I don't know, like just blurting out Snoop Dogg. That's kind of odd. That would be considered odd. By the way, guys, Snoop Dogg. I have no idea what that means. Oh, shoot. Okay, new feedback on the signups. Unless it's trivia night. That is the exception, isn't it? Um, so we've got a lot of positive feedback on the signups. But please remember to read the notifications that come in from Christina to understand the process. Please stay positive in the event chat channel when the process is in motion. All right, so always stay positive. We used to have this problem a lot where we would announce an event. You know, people were waiting for the signups, and there's just a lot of negativity in the chat channel. Hopefully, with this new way of doing things, we won't have that sort of negativity because everybody has a fair shot. If you are interested in an event, you have just as much opportunity as the other people that signed up. And I really do think that that was the best way to go. It might take a little bit longer to do the randomizer, reach out to people, let them sign up, but I think that this really was the solution to all of the stress that it was causing when it was first come, first serve. So I have a few things here. First of all, I am going to be at the Carlisle Fairgrounds tomorrow through Sunday. The Carlisle Fairgrounds is where I plan to have the show, Carlisle Antique Fest, next year, Mother's Day weekend. We are going to have that show. And I'm there the next few days participating in an event, but also getting an idea for how things operate, how things flow, how things get set up, all of those things. So while I'm there, we have a television set up, and we are going to be streaming from Niknax. So it'll be hooked up right to Niknax. The sales will be playing live at the event for anyone and everyone to see. So while those are happening, we're also going to have our sign. Oh, they already took it. Our sign that says register to bid. So if people, come by the table and they're watching it, they'll have that sign that says register to bid. And so if they see something they like, they'll just, hop on. It would be really cool if I had a QR code, but I don't. But yeah, so that is, maybe I can print those up now that I'm like, my brain is turning and I'm like, oh, I could do a QR code. Ah, yes, I like that idea. Coupon code. Heck yeah, we should make a coupon code. Okay. So, well, that would only work for my sales, though. That's the problem. It only works for my sales. But maybe I could just use my code, I guess. Yeah, I'll have to think that through. I should have asked district to create a code, but I didn't think of it. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm thinking I'm going to print out some QR codes and have them also on the table. So if somebody comes up, they can just scan the QR code. It's not as much as like going in and trying to find it. So I will do that. I will have QR code there. But I think it's an awesome opportunity. I can't tell you whose sales are going to be playing. We're basically just going to start it in the morning, and then it'll just keep, as long as you guys are raiding, it'll just continue to raid throughout the day. So that is important. No, the new stickers. I forgot to order the stickers. If I'm being honest, I gotta order stickers. I'm gonna write it down again. Okay, I'm gonna write stickers here. Stickers. I'm gonna circle it a few times. Okay. So I do know I have to get on the stickers. But that being said, I want to encourage you guys that if you're going live today, please make sure that, I don't have to really tell you guys, but hey, just, so that we are all on the same page. Remember that people are going to be watching from this event as well. All right. So also, if you see me jumping in between sales, if you see my username popping up, I'm likely not there. It's probably just cycling through. Okay. So if you see me, if you see Andrew, if you see any of that, just know that we're not actually there. Okay. But you might be playing on the TV. All right. So I think that's going to be really awesome. So reminder to check the calendar. To see. Is that all I had to talk about? Oh, guideline updates. We have guideline updates. Just a few things. Nothing crazy. But I did update the guidelines, and I don't think I actually changed the date at the top of the document. I did highlight the changes, but I don't think that I changed the date. So let's see here. Oh, no, I did. September 28th. Okay, so we have a few new guideline updates. I have added, in lieu of recent behavior, I have added under number 3. No, this is the guideline. No behavior that serves to negatively impact the outcome of a sale. This includes the following examples. And then we have, of course, we've talked all about these in previous coffee chats: bid shaming, guilting, devaluing, price quoting, and now we have negative discussion. So this includes arguments in the chat, name calling, or other behaviors that distract the seller or interrupt the conversation. Okay. I realize that the negative discussion is really up for interpretation, but it's also pretty cut and dry. So if there is a negative discussion, you're violating guidelines. Okay. If you have a problem in a sale, just leave. Nobody's keeping you there. If you're feeling a certain way about a sale, about a seller, about something that's happening, something that's being sold, just leave the sale. All right, that's all you got to do. And then if we scroll down a little bit, where is that? So selling on Niknax, under selling on Niknax, we have always said that in your listings, it is a requirement that you include condition report, measurements, no distractions, no stock images, family friendly, multiple photos, accurate representation. However, they are now listing suggestions, most of them. We are still requiring that it remains family friendly, and also that you have an accurate representation of your items. So those two are required. As far as everything else, it is very highly suggested that you continue to follow these guidelines, because it's only going to hurt you if you don't have the condition report, if you don't have measurements, if you have photos with a bunch of stuff in the back. Like, all of those things are detrimental to you. But it's right there. So now they are listing suggestions. And I do have stars that indicate the ones that are still required. Accurate representation and family friendly. So I think that was the only updates I had to the guidelines this week. Yeah, that was it. So those were the updates, and if anyone wants to check out our guidelines, I would encourage you to do so. It answers a lot of questions about what's going on in the marketplace, going on with Niknax, especially new sellers. We've seen new sellers who don't read the guidelines, and then immediately I have to send them a warning. It's in the approval email. It says, hey, make sure you read the guidelines. And I need to emphasize that it is so important to read the guidelines, because we have a lot of people coming over from other streaming platforms. Look at this here. From other streaming platforms, and we have a different set of rules here. We have a different set of expectations, and it's very important that if you are going to sell here, that you follow those rules and expectations. So if you are a new seller, please look at the guidelines, understand them. Buyers as well. I should say buyers as well, because we do have guidelines that cover buyers or members. So just everybody hop on in there, check out the guidelines. Make sure you're looking over through the chat channels, because that's where you will find them. All right. Now I have to get back to my notes. I think I accidentally X'd out of my notes. Shoot. Oh, no, I didn't. They're right here. Okay. So you can always look at the calendar and find our upcoming events. In addition to having Niknax sponsored events, we also have events that our sellers put on and they organize. So there's some fun ones out there, and if you look at the calendar, you will see those events. Coming up, as far as Niknax events, we have Spooky Speedy Saturday. It's all Halloween. All Halloween. Dressing up is optional, and that is October 4th and 11th. So it's 2 weeks in a row on Saturday. And the whole concept of this Spooky Speedy Saturday is that our sellers have 15-minute time slots. So if you don't have a whole lot of Halloween, you're in luck, because it's going to move very quickly. And in 15 minutes, you need maybe about 7 or 8 pieces, depending on how fast you are, because like I said last week, if you're Sandy, you'll probably get through 40. So make sure that you have everything ready and preloaded and good to go. It's always better to have more than not enough. All right. Always, always better. Okay, we have our breast cancer awareness event on the 19th. That is when we are having it. I think we have settled on a charity. So that day, the commissions from Niknax, a percentage of the sales are going to the foundation. And we have settled on the Susan G. Komen Foundation. So that is where we are going to be giving the donation. Not really. Well, that's where the donation is going to go. We're going to donate there. So that'll be on October 19th. Yes, we need to have a thumbnail. I mean, here's how I envision this going, and I've talked about this before. It's not a train event. It's not like we're going to be jumping from seller to seller, because I don't want to exclude anybody who feels moved by the theme of the day. And so I'm just encouraging you guys to go live throughout the day, if that's something you want to contribute to. And even those who don't realize they're contributing to it, it is the fees from all the sales that day. It's not just the live sales. It's not just if you designate that that's what you're doing. It is all the sales from that day. My commission is going to that foundation. And I believe that district might jump in on that. I don't know. I have to confirm with them. In which case it'll be more than just my commissions. Okay, so the thumbnail will be posted within a few days. If you want to use that thumbnail, it'll let people know, like, hey, this is what I'm having this sale for, and I think that's great. But if you don't want to use that thumbnail, you don't have to. All right. It's whatever you want. You can sell all pink. You can sell blue. You can do all the things. You can sell coffee mugs. Whatever you want to do. All right. So that's that. I think, yeah. Okay. Yes. And so the thumbnail will be posted in a few days. Yes. So we are also having a train on the 18th. I believe, and that is separate from this event. That one is separate. But I do believe that there might be some donations happening with that. I have to get with Christina and find out the details. The only day that the Niknax commissions are going to that foundation is on the 19th. Because I have to have district turn that on, and then off on the back end. All right. So let's see. So Meet Your Maker this month is on October 24th. And the theme for Meet Your Maker is celebrations. Niknax artists will create pieces related to birthdays, holidays, milestones, anniversaries, seasons, and much more. So celebration. I think that's fantastic. Okay, so Christina says, I'm going to see how the lottery works for this round of signups. Look out for a post in the announcements and the handmade chat for details. All right, so we're going to continue with this lottery of choosing people for the events. We're still trying to feel it out, see how it's going to work, and then we're kind of going to just go from there. So I think that's all the notes I have. I don't know. Usually I get a quote. She didn't give me a quote today. I'm like, where's the quote? But yeah, I think that's all we had. So if you guys have any questions, do the right thing. That is our quote for the day, is do the right thing. That's a good one. Yes, do the right thing. So if you guys have any questions, any comments, any feedback, I'm open to it. I'm going to hang around maybe for the next 15 minutes. So you guys just let me know. Question: lottery will be for the Meet Your Maker this month? ? So yes, Christina says yes. I recently applied to sell on Niknax. However, I did not have any links to add for review. Is there somewhere I can send photos? Yeah, so basically, if you didn't add links, what's going to happen is your application will be rejected and you will receive an email asking you to reapply. And then you can go back in and you can add your links and do all that. So I'll just add that in. But that's how it works. So, a lot of the time people ask, like, hey, how my application's been, and it goes into their junk box, so they don't realize that they've been rejected and I've requested additional information. So that's also important to be checking your junk box if you're waiting for approval. Let's see. Oh, paperweights. The paperweights event. I don't know if we've set a date for that yet. I don't know if we set it, so we probably have to get together on dates for that. Do everything with love. I like that. I like that. We are doing, yeah, okay, maybe we did talk about that. We're going to do a combo. I remember that. I remember that discussion. All right. So, Fast Friday Freight, are we still doing them? Yes, we are. I think that they've kind of been put on hold a little bit, just because things have been a little bit crazy. Christina is preparing for a big move, and you guys know I've got a lot going on. So now they're on hold, but we're still doing them. That's the short answer. Yes. I feel like the Spooky Speedy Saturday this coming week and the following week is kind of like taking that up, and that's kind of filling the space. Oh, hello. I applied a while ago and added a link, but I haven't heard anything exact. I checked. Okay, let me write it down. All right, I wrote it down. November 22nd and 23rd is Glass Gallery / Paperweight Extrav. So that is November 22nd to the 23rd. But we will discuss more and report back. All right. It's all kinds of glass, but also paperweights. We kind of ran out of time here at the end of the year, and we're just like, let's just throw them together and make it happen. So yeah, so it's going to be a little combination. I mean, even if you want to throw some Fenton in there, I don't see why not. We can do Fenton, paperweights, and glass extrav, like, all together. We can come up with a creative name for it. Oh, shoot. Oh, that makes me happy. That makes me happy. Yeah. Yeah, all three. All three. We'll just throw them all in there. That works out. The glass extravaganza. Yep. And your glass smash. That sounds too much like smash. I would be sad. People are going to get the wrong idea. We're going to have people smashing glass. Lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my. Oh man. Knickknacks gone glass crazy. Made. Oh yes, of course you can do made by me glass. Of course, all things glass. Too funny. All right. Do you guys have any more questions for me? Any more questions? Update on sales comparisons year over year. Yes, actually. Norm, I've been thinking about this a lot lately. I've never really been one to share financials. I kind of usually keep them close, but I was interviewed by a journalist recently about success as an entrepreneur, and numbers got brought up a lot, and I'm realizing that numbers really are inspirational to some people. So I will tell you that we are averaging about $500,000 every month. That's about what we're doing. So just shy of 8 million in sales. Yes. Yep. It's a bit surreal to think that you guys put me in charge. So there you go. I don't know what you guys are thinking. But yes, that's kind of where we're at. So, and we're going into the fourth quarter. I know it's just gonna go up from there. So, yeah, you guys are crazy. Um, yes, passion. I think that has a lot to do with it. I think everybody is passionate about what they're doing, about being a part of Niknax, and I don't think that we would be here today if it wasn't for the community and the passion that everybody contributes. Um, and it's amazing. So I'm really excited going into fourth quarter and then into the next year, because we have some changes coming up, that I think are going to be crazy in a good way. So yeah, so that's where we are. But I'm just so excited until the post office smashes. You want to do a business card? How to say that we are repurposed packaging? Oh, okay. I have mine right here actually, and I can read you what I have on mine. So here's the front. It looks like this. And then here's the back. So on the back, I just have Crazy Lamp Lady, Niknax.net, but it says your order was packed using clean recycled materials. This small choice helps reduce waste, conserve resources, and protect the environment. Thank you for supporting sustainable practices. So that is what ours says. There you go. You guys can screenshot it. There you go. Yep. So that's what we've got. And we put these in our packages, when we use the recycled materials, just so people know that we're not just throwing a bunch of dirty old newspaper in there, you know? My electric car heart is so happy about. Yes, I can understand that. Oh shoot. So do we have any more questions? Does anyone have any more questions for me before I sign off here? Um, it's going to be a busy couple days, for me. So if you're sending me DMs, if you're trying to reach out to me, I can't promise that I'm going to be very responsive. I don't know what to expect, but I'm very excited about it. Oh, and I should also mention, as far as the show next year, Carlisle Antique Fest, it is Mother's Day weekend. That is happening. My attorney messaged me yesterday and said that he's finalized the LLC, which means that with that LLC, I can then go and purchase the software, and get all that set up. And so we will have, the maps uploaded. We will have, vendor applications ready to go. So the way that it works and the way that the software works, and I got like a whole demonstration on the software, is there will be an application for being a vendor at the event. Um, there will be an application. You guys can fill that out, and then you get approved. And then once you're approved, you can pick a spot on the map. So that's how that works. So I will have a discount code, for our sellers here on Niknax, as for their. I have to write this down for their spots. So if you are a Niknax seller and you intend to sell at the event, I will have a discount code, so you get a little bit of a cut on the space, because I want Niknax to be center stage at this event, and I think it's very important. The other thing I had talked about was having, signs for your spots, that if you are a seller on Niknax, you can put your username on that, and have it in front of your booth so that people know, oh, I can follow this person on Niknax. All right. We currently cannot ship outside of the US. Oh, maybe we can still go to Australia. We can still go to Australia and New Zealand, but that's what we're limited to at this moment. Normally, we can do Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and the US, but we're kind of, a little bit tied tied up right now. Yeah, I'm very excited about it. I'm very excited. So I will tell you that so there is a website. That was like one of the first things I did, because I'm like crazy, but I built the website. So the website is out there. It's not very elaborate. Right now it's just a landing page, but it is carlisleantiquefest.com. You can go there and you can actually, there is an inquiry there. And if you put the inquiry through, you sign up for the mailing list. And then when I will email anyone who's signed up for the mailing list once that all opens up. So if you guys can't always tune into coffee chat or just want to make sure that you have that information, I will make sure that it goes out to everybody who has filled that out. Okay. We do not ship to Pakistan. No. If somebody's asking you to ship to Pakistan, I would reach out to district about that because that seems weird to me. Maybe it's not, but it seems a little odd. Um, you've already booked an Airbnb. Fantastic. Oh my gosh. Absolutely, of course. That's what it's all about. That's what it's always been about. So, um, you're welcome. Package damage control seller claim process through mail service. So if there is a package damaged by the USPS, you would need to file a claim, if that is what the question is. It's carlisleantiquefest.com. So I didn't want to call it a show. I called it a fest, like a festival, because that sounds more like a party. And I think that it should be a little bit of a party, like a tame one, for people like 35 to 40, like one that's just like, oh, it's 10 o'clock. It's time for everyone to go to bed. That kind of party. Yeah. So I called it fest instead of show. Yeah, pretty much, basically. Yeah. I do think that on one of the evenings we are going to have a gathering. I think we should have something low key, hang out, get to know one another, especially if you're coming from Niknax. You can meet some folks that you've met um, through the app, and get to know one another and really put a face to the names and the usernames. And I think that that's really important. An extension of the community that we have here on Niknax, actually getting to meet each other. Thank you. Thank you. Uh, Waiting on a reply. Okay, on certain items. Okay. I will check for that. Yeah, you can all wear name badges. I like that. I love that idea. No, so it is not just antiques, and that's one of the things I struggled with is coming up with a name for it, that wasn't too long but encompassed everything. So we are calling it Carlisle Antique Fest, but I would absolutely 100% encourage handmade. I would love to see vintage fashion, jewelry sellers, antiques, collectibles, sports cards, all of those things. I think that that all needs to be there. One thing that I've considered is I don't want certain clusters of um, those themes, though. I think it's important for everyone to kind of be intermingled. So that way, if you're, normally if people would be like, oh, I don't want to go in there, it's all handmade and I don't want anything handmade. But if you're just walking by, a booth, going from one antique booth to the next, and you see this handmade booth and you see something you have to have, you wouldn't have seen it otherwise if it was kind of segregated over here. So we're going to try to make sure that everything's intermingled. We can have a scavenger hunt. We could post a daily scavenger hunt on the page. I think that would be really cool, and see what people find. A daily scavenger hunt. Yeah. Yeah, that's fun, isn't it? I think that's a great idea. I know. Yeah. Am I ready for tomorrow? Absolutely not. Actually, Andrew and the girls are over there setting up right now. So that's probably where I'm going to head after my meetings. But we got all the tables set up yesterday. We got all the covers on the tables. And yeah, tomorrow's the day. So, oh, there's actually scavenger hunt apps. I did not know that. I did not know that. Yes, everything is priced, but if I need to, I'm just going to fill in with stuff that's not priced and just go for it. And then on Saturday, I am doing like an informal meet and greet. I'll be there at the booth. You can come by and say hi. That's just the time that I've committed to actually being there. Otherwise, it'll be hit or miss. I might be there, I might not. But on Saturday, I will be there hanging out. So if you guys are in the area, if you're coming to the area and you just want to swing through and say hi, I will be there. Yes, all day on Saturday. That is correct. So that will be Saturday. I was going to say something else, but I forgot what I was going to say. Yes, there are indoor and outdoor booths. We have pavilion space. We have an actual building to utilize, and then we have we have electric and non-electric. So there's 4 options for space. Yes, camping is okay, but if you are camping, you have to pay for the spot next to it. So you would be paying for 2 spots if you were to like pull up your camper, throw up your tent. You would need to pay for both spots. Air conditioning. I believe the buildings might have air conditioning, but we only have one building. It's the one I actually posted on the Crazy Lamp Lady page. That's the one that we're going to have. So if you see my setup from the show that starts tomorrow, you will see the booth, or I'm sorry, see the building that we are going to be utilizing. So timeline for signups. So I would hope that in the next week, week or 2, I will have that set up for signups. So now that I have the LLC, I have to go to the bank and open a bank account. I have to put some money in there to get us started. And then I have to go on and get the app. And then once I have the app, I need to create our applications. So basically, I put in all the questions and make sure that I have all the right questions that I'm asking. And then we need to upload the maps into the system. So I'm not sure yet how much for the spaces, but I'm going to make it comparable to other events, like Springfield or Madison Bachville. So I'm kind of going to make it an average of what I've seen other places. So that's that. And I was thinking about getting one of those massive tents. Yes, I don't see why not. I don't see why not. I was thinking of getting one of those really big tents that's similar to a pavilion, just to provide some other undercover spots. If we have rain, I think that's important because then people won't feel like, oh, I can't shop. We at least have tents that are undercover where people can shop while they wait for the rain to settle down. Do you know how big the spaces will be? So I believe they have 10 foot of frontage and maybe 20 feet back. The way the fairgrounds is set up is for car shows. So the actual footprint of the spaces are for cars or for trailers, or that sort of thing. So frontage is 10 feet and then it goes back from there. Yes, you can have pop-up tents. Yes. Yes, you can. And there is full security on site. So there are cameras, there are security guards, all of the things, which I think is fantastic. It's all fenced in. It's all fenced in. The gates close. And then there are security cameras watching and also security guards. Yeah. I'm very excited for it. I think it's going to be amazing. I think it's going to be an amazing event. And if it's successful, we'll do it again. My hope is that we will do it again and we'll continue to build it. So there you go. So that'll be happening next year. All right. Going places still rattles you a little. Oh, build it and they will come. Isn't that what they say? Absolutely. Absolutely. So if there are no more questions, a lemonade vendor. I think that some of the food places have lemonade. We need Dell's lemonade. I need to call up Dell's and be like, hey, can you come up to Pennsylvania or down to Pennsylvania? We need Dell's. I think that's important. I think that we should make that a priority, is getting Dell's there. Yeah. I don't know if they travel that far, but we should definitely make it a priority. If it goes well, we will do it again in 2027. And my thought had been to actually have two events in the same year, like the other shows do. I mean, I usually have two. So if I can get the fairgrounds for two slots, one in the fall and one in the spring, I will do it. But I just kind of have to. I'm at the mercy of their schedule because everything there revolves around car shows. So I think I told you guys when I wanted to do the show, I was like, "What dates do you have available?" And the only dates they had available in the spring were Mother's Day weekend. So I was like, "All right, that's the weekend. We got to do it." So is it ideal? It depends. But I think that having it on Mother's Day weekend. I mean, you can bring your mom. You can do a girls trip. There's all there's all sorts of reasons to go. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know this is what mom wants to do. Your mom wants you to take her to Carlisle Antique Fest. That's that right there is our our advertising. Maine lobster food. Is that one truck that they have the food truck? I'll tell you what, I got food from them the last time and it was so gross. I don't know about that. I would love to have lobster rolls though. I think so. Um, I think that would be delicious. Mom's day for me. They are hitting. Yeah, my dad waited in line for an hour and a half. It was insane at a food truck. Like it wasn't even he was waiting in line. He ordered and then waited for an hour and a half for a few lobster rolls. That to me is just wild. Like, what are they doing? Are they catching the lobsters? Anyway, so I'm just not really a huge fan of that lobster truck. Yeah, I know, isn't that wild? Get vendors to start auditioning for you. Yeah, there you go. So the one thing about the fairgrounds though is that the food vendors, the beer vendors, they are all under contract with the fairgrounds. So to bring in other food trucks and other like food vendors or alcohol vendors, um, we have to utilize what they have under contract. So they actually have a food court where the people who own that stall come in and set up for the events. So I have to if we were to get anything else, any other food trucks or stuff, I think we would have to go through some approval for that because in essence they would be competing with those who actually have a contract. So so we'll see if it gets too big. If it gets big enough that they're like, oh my gosh, we don't have enough food vendors for this, then it'll probably be an easier point to make that we do need to bring in more food vendors. Yeah, they that's exactly right. It's not fair to them if they're paying for that space to be there at these shows that an outsider comes in and competes with them. It's um, they need to make their business because they have a spot there. So, all right. Well, I think I'm going to sign off of here. I enjoyed our chat today. It was a lot of fun. Um, if you guys have any more questions, feel free to message me or community@niknax.net. Any event related items should be sent to Christina@niknax.net. So if it has to do with an event or anything like that, you need to hop on over there. Yes, you can only chat if you've been subscribed for 2 years. That is absolutely correct. But I always invite everybody to come on over here to niknax.net because that is where you can absolutely chat regardless of how long you've been subscribed. So I guess I'll see you guys later. I don't know if I'm going to be having a sale tonight. I have the things to have a sale, but I just have to see how it plays out when I get over there to start setting up. So if I can sneak away, I might have a sale this evening. If not, I will have Juliet's status. So she had her MRI, and the follow up is next Wednesday on her MRI. And then from there, it'll probably be scheduling the surgery. So, yep. All right. Well, I will see you guys later. And have a wonderful day. Let's see who we can rate. How about that? Oh, we've got lots of sellers live right now. I love to see that. Um, who should we raid into? How about we head over to Lakeshore Finds? I have not seen Lakeshore Finds in a while, and so maybe we should all head over there. Please remember to be kind, encouraging, and here we go. Ready? Lakeshore Finds.